And we're live. So yes, welcome back after so long.
What's up?
This is my guest, Xwire, Xwire,
What's up?
From NSC, the founder, of course. So I guess you want to like go ahead and, well, first let me just say it's good to actually be back because I haven't been on a comfy run since January. And
Damn, that's a long time.
yeah, and the only reason why I stopped is because, well, I got into Trovo, and then music stuff happened, and then all this other stuff like came about, and then I joined NSC. So shout outs to both Trovo and NSC when you watch this, of course. If you watch this, you better watch this. Anyway, so yeah, I guess
awesome.
I'll let my guest introduce himself.
Alright, hey guys, so I'm Xwire. I mean, as he already said, I go by Xwire or Xwire. Some of you guys kind of call me the second one, but it's fine, I guess. It works, and you know, some of you guys know me by that, and I'm not gonna go correcting everybody, so I mean, it's all good. I make all sorts of electronic music. I started making hip-hop beats, and then I just kind of gradually moved up to electronic music. My biggest influences, am I allowed to talk about influences?
Yeah, you can. You can talk about anything right now.
Alright, well, my biggest influences were probably Deadmau5. That was probably my first show that I didn't really attend. I saw it on a YouTube stream. He was showing off the Cube, and Professional Grievers was playing. Yes. And he had that whole like crazy mechanical setup, and it was just like the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And then I just saw it, and I was like, I want to do something like that.
Yeah, that was badass. That's my inspiration too.
So I picked up FL Studio after that and just started working on stuff, and from there I just kind of kept going and pushing at it, and then I came across Skrillex's music. That's my second influence right there. That's when Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites was like coming out, like around 2011, 2012, and then I heard that and I was mind fucked. I didn't know anything or anybody could do such like awesome sound design, I guess, if that makes sense. Sound design, productions. So I just kind of started from there also, and then I it took 2 years before I actually went to my first show, which is Something Wicked, which is actually tomorrow.
Oh, so Something Wicked was your first show?
Yeah, Something Wicked was my very first show.
Which one?
My very first electronic show. I think it was 2013 with Tiesto.
Damn.
It was Tiesto.
Wolfgang Gartner was there.
Yeah, it was Wolfgang Gartner.
ATV was there, I think, too.
Yeah, they were there.
That was my first Something Wicked, actually. Was 2013.
Yeah, that was my first one. I went with a couple of friends. I paid for all their tickets.
You did?
Like, yeah.
Dang.
That was like my first paycheck went to buying all their shit because I didn't have any bills to pay. Like, I didn't have a phone either. Broke kid problems. But
yeah, now it's all changed.
But, now it's like I didn't have a phone. I didn't have, you know, utility bills. I didn't have rent to pay.
You didn't have to pay on life, pretty much.
I didn't have to pay anything, you know. I was still like, you know, a sheltered kid, you know. So I didn't really have to worry about paying for anything. So my first paycheck at the job at the time, I ended up pretty much buying all their tickets just because I wanted them to experience something with me.
Sorry. No, you can keep talking. I'm just trying to make sure these assholes don't like get on, because we can cuss on the stream, by the way.
Alright, cool. Texas drivers are I mean, not all of them. Some Texas drivers.
Just most.
Alright, most Texas drivers are the fucking worst.
Especially Houston, because I've been in Dallas. Dallas are just insane drivers. They're insane to me. Like Houston, they're at least like, we'll at least let you kind of get in, but we'll be pissed about it. Dallas will just like kind of, yeah.
Dallas people are just like straight up like they won't even wait to ask for permission, or I mean, not really that Houston drivers do that, but I mean,
they'll ride your ass.
I don't know. I think Houston drivers just get bad with the traffic. Like if there's traffic, they turn into the worst drivers, and they all forget they even got their license, their driver's license.
And this is probably going to be a long coffee run because it says we're like 11 minutes from Starbucks, but like we're in traffic right now, so I don't know. That could be like more. Like we still got to even wait in line to get our coffee, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a busy Starbucks, considering we're in a busy area.
And it's next to, it's pretty much right next to where Baron, Okay, Mel.
Oh, yeah, shout outs to Mel.
Yeah, you got Mel.
Right. So well, yeah, it's gonna be. Oh fuck! This is a turn only thing. I thought this was like straight and turn.
Well, time to cut people off.
Well,
it's time to be one of those bad Texas drivers that we just ran.
I know,
about.
right? Well, if anything, I'm pretty sure it'll reroute us because like we're not too far. Well, I don't know. I'll figure something out. We'll get to it when we get to that. But yeah, so like the coffee runs for like starting from here on out, since I didn't get to tell everybody, it's gonna be back to the music because I don't know if you watched any from before, but they were about music, but they weren't like as music focused because you know some friends and guests I was just literally catching up with after not seeing them for like so long. But now the ones that you see are gonna be more music focused, and you know going to that, like I guess just since you're one of the first artists and producers and like on my coffee run, what's the origin of why you decided to call your your name
the origin?
Yeah.
So basically, I have this I don't know what it's called. I guess like a symptom. I don't want to call it a superpower because it's not that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a symptom where basically like a condition called chromesthesia, where basically whenever they hear music or really any sound for that matter, like even the car sound, you know, there's a cross-wiring of like the senses in this case. Some people can perceive letters as a certain color. In my case, I mean that's synesthesia, but chromesthesia is basically if I were to compare it to a word, I guess it'd be like a subgenre of synesthesia, you know. So what I do is, or not what I do, but what happens is whenever I hear a song, I perceive a certain color or I associate a certain color with it. So if I ever say, you know, let's see, like Porter Robinson's Language sounds turquoise to me. Is that the correct pronunciation? Turquoise. Yeah, like it sounds turquoise to me. You know, it's not a lot of people would understand it. So back then in elementary school, I used to associate colors with a lot of songs, like Beethoven's For Elise, back when the music teacher tried showing us what music was.
Nice.
I associated that one with it's like a red-orange, I think. It's like a reddish orange kind of color, but not really.
I'm bad with colors. Like I just know the basic colors.
No, my girlfriend's the artist, so she would probably know. And if she watches it, she's probably gonna like call me out on it. She's gonna
be like, "Really, you didn't know this?"
Yes, most likely. But anyways, so basically, whenever I associate, you know, songs to colors or colors to sounds, well, not really the other way around. It's more songs to colors, but like back in elementary school, I used to associate a lot of songs that she would show me to colors. And because of it, a lot of kids used to bully me. And so some of you guys know I got bullied throughout most of my school years, from elementary all the way up until like high school. And it wasn't until like senior year that I just kind of started standing up for myself. I didn't really win any fights, but I didn't lose them either. But it's mostly because I tried to avoid confrontation afterwards, because obviously I'm not the biggest guy ever. Especially not in a school just where everybody is like good friends, and you know, popularity is a huge factor. So
I know those feels. It feels like popularity has just always been a huge factor.
It's always been a factor about where you go in life, I guess, until you graduate or until you leave either high school or college, I feel. And then after that, it's really about how in touch you keep with these people. Yeah, because I mean, I was bullied somewhat too, but you know, not a lot. But just, you know, it really didn't happen in high school. It kind of happened, like, surprisingly in college, but only because I was hanging around a group of friends that just were, like... So you were around the bad crowd? Yeah, it wasn't, like, I don't know, everything just changed. Like, once I got further into college and met more new friends, and then things just got better from there. But, like... And then, like, now, this year, just really kind of changed everything. Yeah, it was around high school, actually, whenever I started... I guess I started expressing myself a little bit more freely in regards to, because, you know, like there was a couple of kids that knew about all this stuff, you know. So of course, whenever I associated colors and whatnot to music or music to colors, there was a couple of teachers that thought I was meant to be more like in special ed, which honestly sucked, and it really fucked with my self-esteem. So it became more of a thing where I had to kind of show what I saw. So I picked up drawing, you know, before I actually picked up making music. So I started just drawing random stuff, or I would draw like, basically I picked up graffiti, like, you know, just drawing shit, mostly on paper. I never really tried drawing on walls. Like I've done it a couple of times. Yeah, I've done it a couple of times, but
me too. I sucked at it though.
No, it's understandable. I wasn't very good when it came down to like walls. Like walls and paper are totally different. Like you're having a totally different canvas, and like bricks absorb a shit ton of paint, like a lot more than you can even think. Like I tried, like one of my first walls was actually like with dollar spray cans from Walmart, and like I came back to visit it to try taking a picture of what I had back then, which was I tried taking a picture with my iPod, and the quality was just really bad. Not the iPod's picture quality, but the actual quality of the whole thing itself was just god awful. Like there was just paint dripping everywhere, and I didn't have any like can control or anything like that, so I kind of stuck more to paper after that. And so I would listen to music whenever I was drawing, and it wasn't just hip-hop either. Like I tried to listen to as much shit as I could.
See, and one thing I never got to ask you too is like how, because that's kind of cool, like how I noticed we relate a lot in the fact that, well, one, Deadmau5 was actually, I didn't know he was your inspiration. I thought it was Skrillex first.
No, Skrillex was like an inspiration that kept pushing me to keep making music. You know, it just kind of, it drifted, like his mentality is what kind of like kept me going as well, because it was just like he loves everybody, and you know it's not that he works with anybody, because it's not like he would work with me if I like walked up to him and asked him to collab, but you know,
well, maybe one day.
Yeah, no, but yeah, Deadmau5 was definitely like the biggest factor in it. Like he like indirectly inspired me, because he didn't go up to me and tell me, hey, start making music. You know, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like that was my inspiration that got me started. Like that was like my push that I needed, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because mine, like, definitely, because I got into like the whole dance scene like back, like I guess fully into it like in 2008, and then like I noticed in the periods of like EDM, as people call it, there's like there's those periods where it's like there's this influx of so many new artists and music. Yeah. And like in 1996, of course, that's what kind of started it off for me, which was Daft Punk's Homework album. And then after that,
those robots.
Yeah, and then of course, like, I mean, Daft Punk's always gonna be like a very huge like inspiration. I mean,
yeah, Daft Punk is like I guess
they're like the epitome of like what, you know,
of what electronic, like they're basically like kind of what started like a renaissance in electronic music. I mean, you got like artists like Madeon inspired by Daft Punk, and you know, because of that, you know, you have artists like I mean, Porter Robinson got inspired by a Dance Revolution game, but you know, I mean,
by DDR, right?
Yeah, DDR Max, I think.
You could tell even in his new project.
Yeah, exactly. Like and you know, he has a lot of like Japanese influences in that.
Like a lot of anime like style influence. Because I love the fact that he and Madeon for Shelter, they had that whole anime style music video. Like that was perfect.
That is how music videos, electronic music videos, I feel should be made. I mean,
exactly.
Not all of them, like,
but
you know, some of them, like Deadmau5's Professional Grievers, going back to that song again, like with Gerard Way, like that music video was the truth. Yeah, that video was awesome. Like he had fighting robots.
Yeah, that was cool.
You know, and you know, basically Gerard Way thinking he's about to win, and then Deadmau5 just or not really Deadmau5, it was just Meowingtons, Mecha Meowingtons that just fucked his shit up.
Meowingtons? I love it, yeah.
Mecha Meowingtons was the shit. Oh, they got a zombie frappuccino now?
Yeah, and I was thinking about trying it, but then I read up about it, and I was like, I don't know if I want to try, because they said it was like really sweet, and I'm like, fuck, maybe I should.
Nah, I'm tempted to, but you know what? I might just pass up on it.
Yeah, I was gonna wait for now because I don't know if I want something that sweet. They said it's like a really big sugar rush, and for those who have anxiety, I don't know if that's the best thing, especially for me. But I mean, I really do want to try it, but I'm gonna wait on it for now. But yeah, the Mecca Millingtons, that was bad. I like that video, and I like and just Deadmau5 himself. Like I know a lot of people don't like his style, and I know why, because it's. I mean, he makes like 8-minute songs sometimes, and it could be. Sometimes they can be repetitive.
I feel like people like his music. What they don't like is like his attitude.
Yeah.
But you know, that's who Joel is. Like that's how he is. He is straightforward, and he's the friend that I would ask. Like, hey, does this sound good? And if it sounds like shit, I would just ask him, like, if he can help me improve it. Not by collabing, but just tell me, hey, like, how can I make this better? Like, how can I make this, like, sound good? Like, not sound good, but how can I make this, like have good quality, you know? And not make it sound like this generic 4x4 or 4 on the floor, whatever they call it, kind of, like, beat. I don't want to sound like damn it, Benny Benassi's Satisfaction. That song was good too.
It was really good, yeah. Which that's another person that kind of like set it off as far as me really getting into it more. Like I mean, I'll just like list people like Daft Punk, Ian Van Dahl, ATB was a big inspiration as well. Tiesto, and I'm just gonna say old school Tiesto because like Trans Tiesto, which I'm still gonna always prefer more, and it's not because I grew up, it's because it was fucking good. So. And I'm not saying that new Tiesto isn't either. He probably is, but
he's trash.
But I mean, I don't hey, but I mean, he probably is. You know, like I don't really, because I haven't jammed him. So, and it's funny because I can't talk too bad on Tiesto only because that was my first actual show.
He's constantly improving, and you know, I mean, as much as I want to shit on him for just dropping trance, it's like he kind of did what he had to do to not just stay relevant, but to improve as a musician, as an artist. You know, I've always told people that if they stick to just one genre, they're not gonna grow. You know, like especially if you're barely starting. I mean, I made the mistake of trying to sound like Deadmau5 for like the first 3 years of my music. Like I've been doing this for about 5 years, going 6 years now.
Damn. So
it wasn't easy, because it was like, it was easy making the songs that sounded like Deadmau5, because it was like boots and pants and kind of shit.
Yeah, it pretty much was. But like the Plex sound was of course the thing that really like just made it all.
Those chord progressions are what stuck out. Those are what stuck out, and I couldn't pull those off to save my life. Like I did the most basic notes.
And I love those Plex sounds like so much because that's really what made me hone this talent that I have, where it's like like that. Like I used to do that all the time whenever I would hear his music, and I still do that now because it's just like it's so cool, like hearing those beats and just like I don't know, it really kind of just it calms me down in a way too. It just kind of really like chills me out. But this Faxing Berlin, of course, that was like
Faxing Berlin was the song that broke him out. Honestly, he sent that to Pete Tong, I believe. And then Pete Tong played that out in his radio show, and then from there he just kind of blew up a lot more. I mean, he was already pretty well known. Like his story is actually pretty interesting about why he's even called Deadmau5. A dead mouse in the computer. Yeah,
that was cool. And the fact that he just found, like, I want to know how that actually happened. Like, how did a mouse end up inside his CPU, and then he just ended up cleaning it out and then finding it? Like, that was just crazy. And then of course the fact that his name, he uses a form of leet speak because of the 5.
Yeah.
Because I made that mistake, and I was that person to say Deadmau5 when I first read it, and I'm like, okay, well, it's obviously like an S now. Oh yeah, do you know what you want?
Yeah.
Well, I know what I want now.
Starbucks, I'll be with you shortly.
Alright, I'm just gonna get the usual, always good, is Grande Caramel Frappe.
Okay.
I love those. What are you gonna get?
We're gonna get started for you today.
Go ahead.
I'll get a Grande Caramel Frappe.
Grande Caramel Frappuccino, anything else?
With extra caramel.
Alrighty.
And what do you want?
Can I get a Grande white chocolate mocha?
Hot or iced?
Hot.
Alrighty, did you want whipped cream or no whip?
Yes, please.
Anything else?
That's it.
1018 is your total, thank you.
Okay.
That's not too bad. Alright, thanks. I'm hiding the card info, by the way.
That's fine.
But
oh, right.
because just in case. I mean, I doubt people see it, but still. But yeah, I know. I feel like we're just going on a rant on Dead Mouse, but it's okay because it's like.
I mean, it's music
It's our
oriented.
inspiration.
It's music oriented, and people kind of get to see what started us out. You know, I mean, you haven't started yet.
Yeah.
So I mean,
barely like starting.
you're barely starting, exactly. So you have like 5 more years technically to like,
to really kind of like grow.
I mean, you can learn a lot more now. I mean, you have people like Toast. Shout out to Toast.
Oh yeah, really big shout out to Toast, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have even like. I would have bombed my first actual gig.
If we're talking Houston locals, Toast is definitely a huge inspiration, even to myself. Like I haven't known him that long, but Toast is by far the best house producer in Houston.
Yeah, he is.
I say that with all like this, like with all what's the
Respect,
term?
maybe?
No, not all respect. But I say that with like humility, and I guess like I am convinced he is like the best, honestly.
Yeah, and that's cool that I don't know if people know this, but Baron, you know, Mel, he found Toast for NSC, and then like the only way. It's cool how everything started, because it's almost like you're looking at Mousetrap in a way, but you know, as far as Houston goes, because you know, of course, Dead Mouse found Skrillex found Zed, and then
it kind of branched out. It was like, I mean, it was I wouldn't really call it even a direct connection, really. It was more like similar, like a similar trail of how it all worked.
Yeah.
You know, because I started Never Sleep pretty much. I guess that's a thing I can talk about, right? Pretty much.
I was gonna ask
the origin of Never Sleep, actually.
Yeah, that's like a must for this. So, please do tell.
So it started off like pretty much about the same time I started working on music. Basically, you know, I started off as Tuner back then. That was my name, Tuner.
Oh, really?
Like that has a more sob story. Honestly,
Yu-Gi-Oh for some reason.
Yeah,
because Tuners, but.
Yeah, that name had a sob story. So I mean, it wasn't always Xwire to begin with. So I had to switch it out because that other name had too much meaning to me. So I had to just let it go. But anyway, so I started off Never Sleep back then, like 5 years ago, and it was called The Agency.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it was.
Yeah, that sounds like.
First, it started off as it started off as Type R recordings, but then one of my friends pointed out that, you know, Type R is a type of car. That would be the GTR Nissan. Yeah.
So you don't want to get sued on that?
Yeah, I didn't want to get sued. I wanted to avoid a lawsuit like within the first month of starting it.
Yeah.
So I switched it out, and then it turned into The Agency. Like maybe like a year later, because I mean Type R was like inactive, so I basically just kind of like disbanded it, but not really. So it was always there. The idea was there. So then I started, you know, The Agency, and then The Agency turned into No Sleep, No Sleep Records. And then from No Sleep Records, I turned it into Never Sleep, just Never Sleep on its own. And then afterwards, I turned it into Never Sleep Collective.
Holy shit! So it went through so many different like.
Yeah, it
phases.
went through several phases.
I thought it was just like a 2-name thing, and then just
like,
Never Sleep was like. Wow.
Like Type R started off with. It started off with myself, obviously. It started off with my cousin, who doesn't make music anymore. He just kind of picked up soccer instead and just kind of stuck with it because it made him happy. So I was like, all right, you know, if that's what you want to do, then that's fine. It started with my cousin. It started off with this guy called Mighty Joe at the time. Now he goes by Capsule, makes hip hop beats and all that shit. But I mean, after I rebranded and everything, not many members stuck around. Like Jay Lewis or Joshua Lewis was actually one of the guys that stuck like from the very beginning. He just messaged me on SoundCloud one of my first songs, and then he just told me, "Hey, can I remix this?" And I mean, I didn't tell him yes, but he just sent me whatever he did, and
Damn, that's cool.
I mean, I didn't like my own music, so I didn't like that one very much either. But I mean, I brought him on after, you know, he sent me like a demo of him adding vocals to one of my songs, which was Drop the Bass. Like, it was the most generic dubstep song ever.
But that song was made like, you know, around the time where dubstep was kind of like more.
Yeah, it was becoming
blowing
a
up.
thing, like 2012. Yeah, so like Drop the Bass was actually like, okay, you know, maybe I'll make it in dubstep, possibly, but you know, I didn't have enough experience, so it's not like I would have actually stood a chance to begin with. But so let's see, we had Mark OG also in Type R. Mark OG is now the founder of Omnigrade Records, so I guess shout out to him also.
Yeah, I don't think. See, all these people I haven't met yet. I don't think.
Yeah, Mark OG is one person that I mean, if you go out to like Houston Underground, you'll see him around a bit.
Is he gonna be at the Crypt this weekend?
I don't know if oh yeah, he is. He's playing back to back with Lanky. So shout out to Lanky also
nice.
for putting me on.
Badass. Yeah, I noticed like half of the like almost what seems like half of the Never Sleep crew is like on that lineup.
On that lineup.
That's awesome.
Most of them.
So shout outs to like, you know, well, you, Mel, Lucidity, Normal. So like that's awesome that like all y'all are on it. One day it would be nice to have like all of us on a lineup.
Yeah.
And okay. Thank you. Alright, well, this is mine. This back here.
Yeah. Let's see how. And now, in regards to what Never Sleep is now, it started off with me bringing in. Actually, it was whenever I joined the Dirty Collective with Buddy K. That I met. That I met Alejandro.
Thank you. You too. Oh, that's how you met Alejandro?
Yeah, that's how I met Alejandro. I met him through the Dirty Collective.
Nice. Alright, now this is going to be funny, but I actually don't know how to get back to Barron's from here. I think I do, so I'm going to go that way.
I have no idea either, to be honest.
Well, because we're by the Galleria, so we're not too far. And if he watches, he's going to be like, really, guys? But we'll figure out a way. I know we got to go that way.
I mean, Galleria is right there, so yeah, we go that way, I guess. And
do you have his address, or do you know his address?
No, I don't.
It's okay. We'll figure out a way. But that's just part of the conference, is learning as you go, kind of. Literally, that probably should be the damn slogan for it, to be honest. Because I always learn.
Yeah.
I'm literally learning about all my guests as I go. Because there's like.
Just let this guy cross.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah, I guess not.
That's cool too.
And this is like a dangerous fucking road, because you got to really be careful. And
yeah.
Okay, well maybe I should just go. We're probably gonna die, but it's okay.
It's okay. I mean, this is all documented.
Yeah. So, if we die, then
yeah,
it's Soundwave's fault. It's not my fault. Soundwave's. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but actually, I guess we can. Before we even get to Alejandro, I'll get you started pretty much on like how I got the members all pretty much pieced up together.